Well, now that the boat's clean,
it's about time to start organizing the actual refit of the boat.
yeah. I'm Roberta.
And I'm Luca.
And for the past year, we have been building our own tiny shipping container house, so we can travel around knowing that we will always have this little place that we can call home.
But guess what? We just found our dream project before we expected. This abandoned sailboat. So we are gonna stop building the house for a couple months to bring our boat back to life. And then we're gonna go back and finish the house. Yeah, the thing is, this is such a huge project and we have a timeline. We have 3 months to get out of the marina and to start going south to our city. And we have way too many different projects going on the same time, and that's what turns this into confusing to shoot video, because back when we were building the shipping container house, we did one project at a time because we had time. And now, for example, the past week we shot video about, I don't know, 5-10 different projects at the same time, so it's really hard to edit a video actually.
Yeah.
Why did we skip a week? This video right now is a week after the last video you watched. We have 1 week in between them. Why?
Yeah. We had a friend here last week. He's an expert in sailboats, so he was here to trying to organize how the refit's gonna go with us. And
yeah, he has a lot more experience than we have. He was on the Olympic Games before on the Brazilian team. He is a judge on the Olympic Games, on the Pan American Games. He's
on the Volvo Ocean race.
On Volvo Ocean race. He knows what he's talking about. He really have a lot of experience, and we need someone to see the mast, to see if we need to put the mast down, and to check someone to check the engine, and that knows people where we are, because he travels here all the time, so he knows people to help us with the painting and all these kind of things.
So we are gonna organize the main things that we need to do and the not that important things. So we need to hire people to do some things because we have a timeline, as Lucas said, and we are gonna write on the post-its and we are gonna organize the priorities here.
Yeah, just give us a few minutes and we're gonna shoot a time lapse while we organize the ideas, and then we show you what our thoughts are. So let's get started.
Trying to skip go there.
Good. So let's start from port to starboard. Oh, I'm learning. Yeah. The thing is, we have 3 months here, right? So the longer job we have is to paint the boat. We believe that a metal boat needs to be really well painted and treated, otherwise it's not gonna last for too long, the hull. So this is gonna take around 70 days. That's what the guys said. But before we can start painting, we have something else to do.
We need to do all the weldings outside.
Yeah, it's not much, but as we are not in our town and we don't have the welding machine with
and
us,
we don't have experience welding stainless steel.
Yeah, we in some spots we're gonna exchange regular steel, carbon steel to stainless steel, and we need someone with experience to weld these two kind of materials together. So this is one of the 2 things I don't like about the design of this boat. This, it's like flush with the deck, the hatch, so there is too much, how to say, like, it touched the metal with metal too much, and they did on regular steel, galvanized steel I mean. They should have done in stainless steel, otherwise if we fix this, it's all rusted. If we fix, it's gonna rust in the future anyways. So we decided to take this off and build them in stainless steel, and then we're gonna cut this part off and also change this for stainless steel. So it's gonna be a little bit expensive, but at least it's one time. We do one time and then we are good to go. Yeah. Otherwise, just we're gonna be repeating the fixing, and that's not good. And it's good because I'm gonna learn. Yeah. Because the deal is I hire him, but I need to give him a mask so I can, you know, learn how he does the job.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know yet too, but that's gonna be the deal. We didn't hire him yet. We talked to him already. But this is gonna be like welding class, stainless steel welding class. That's gonna be really cool. I'm looking forward for that. Yeah. So after we weld the boat, we start the painting.
Yeah.
This it's gonna be a really long job. We had a few options on the painting. We could just sand a little bit and just give a coat of paint on the top of the paint that is been sitting here for, we say 20 years, but I think it's 22 years actually. I don't think that would be a smart idea, wouldn't last for too long. The other choice would be to sandblast the whole boat, but then we're gonna lose the galvanization, and if this boat is in such a good condition, it's because there is galvanization. This being said, we decided we wanted to take the paint off until the second primer. The second primer is really good still, so we need to sand all over with the drum sander to the second primer. And why the second, not the first, is because if there is any mistake on the sanding, you won't end up on the galvanization, you will end up on the first primer, so you have like a backup. You have like a guarantee that you won't hit the galvanization, and we won't lose the galvanization. If we did this job us two, we could do it. We have the tools for that. We know how to do it, but we would take a year. Yeah,
Sure.
the boat's huge. We won't make on time, and as you can tell, we have like a huge lease that doesn't make sense for us to spend the 3 months we have here sanding instead of doing all the rest. Another thing, we are in a marina with a lot of regulations. You need to have a specific way of working in order to be fine. And it's cheaper to pay someone to do it than to stay here for a year.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's not gonna be cheap, but it's gonna be cheaper.
Yeah. And the guys that we are hiring have a lot of experience, and this is a really technical part, because if we do the painting job well, this could last for 20 years.
And we know that we spend a lot of time sanding
Yeah.
the little corners, so
Yeah.
it's better to hire more people to do the same job.
Yeah, so basically I think it's gonna be like 4 people doing at the same time, so that's gonna be a lot faster and well done.
Yeah.
So this painting job, we're gonna hire someone to do it. We won't do it on time. Took a while to decide that, but we decided we're gonna hire someone to do it, and then we are gonna do the random things while they
Get
paint.
prepared to know about the color that we are gonna paint the boat. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be white as it was.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Yeah, so random things.
Random things. There are a lot of random things, and most of them we are gonna do by ourselves. So this is the list of things that we have to do.
While the guys paint the boat. So just some stuff that we need to do it. We need to fix the toilets. That's important.
Yeah.
We need to check all the hose for water, gas, and everything. We need to check if we need to change any hose.
We need to clean the sails and check how they are.
We need to give maintenance to the valves, every valve of the boat. That's really important. But the good news is this boat has no valve under the water line. Every single valve of the boat, there is a steel tube welded to the hull higher than the water line. That means that if a valve or a hose breaks, it won't sink the boat. Because if the valve is under the water line and the valve breaks, it starts bringing water inside of the boat, and that's not the case. I really like that.
So we need to fix the hatches.
That's important.
We need to change the rubbers.
We are going to be able to take all the port lights and all the hatches off and change the acrylic or polycarbonate and all the seals. So we need to redo all the seals of, I don't know how many, just like a lot of hatches.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big important jobs that we need to do.
And a lot of things.
Yeah,
You're
like-
gonna see with time.
Yeah, we need to fix the compass.
So engine.
Engine.
We don't understand about engine. Of course, we need to hire someone.
Yeah.
And since that we found a guy, we don't know the prices yet.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 big things to do with the engine. The first thing, we're gonna hire a guy that understands about this kind of engine to come here and just help us to turn the engine on, to try to turn on and see if it turns on, and based on that, he's gonna give us a list of what we need to do on the engine, and based on this list, he's gonna say, this you can do by yourself, this is easier, this is just sanding parts and taking rust off and cleaning, and this part I can do it, and we are gonna mix with him and do it together. He do a part of the engine that we don't understand, and we do the one that we can do it, and then every single thing we are hiring at this point is good because we're learning, because as we hire him to work on the engine, we're gonna learn a lot about the engine with him, and then in the future we can do it ourselves. And actually the boat has so many parts, spare parts for the engine, that we need him to go through these spare parts and tell us which spare parts we can use, which ones are expired, and these kind of things.
About the masts.
Mast.
Yeah, we didn't know if we were gonna put the mast down.
Yeah.
And actually we start like touching some parts and we needed to take the mast down. Electric.
We hire someone, he's gonna help us to install the new batteries, and he is gonna test every single circuit on the entire boat. 110, 120, 12 volts, the whole thing, shore power, everything, and with that he's gonna help us to make a list of everything we need to fix, everything we need to change, and everything that's good. It seems like the panel is in perfect condition.
And that's it.
We also want to thank our new patron.
Welcome on board, Julian.
Thanks so much. We really appreciate your support, and we see you guys
Next week.
next week.